night before Halloween and you've just been invited to the costume party of the year. But all you have in your closet is some ratty old monk costume. So you obviously can't just wear this, and you need something to kind of spice it up and make it interesting. So you can make it more interesting by creating a theatrical makeup application by using liquid latex, tissue, body paint, and blood gel. So first what you're going to have to do is, I previously did this to save time because it does take a really long time. You use liquid latex, and as you can see, it's super messy and it's spilled everywhere, and I'm going to have to throw it away. If this gets on any kind of carpet or your clothes, your hair, you have to throw it away, cut it off, like there's no way to get it out. I know this because I have done this many times. So what you do is you take a foam brush. You cannot use a regular brush because, again, it'll ruin it. And a foam brush typically is cheaper than a regular paintbrush, so you can just use it and throw it away if you need to. So you dip it in the liquid latex. Liquid latex is exactly what it sounds like. It's liquefied latex. So you just dip it in and you just paint it on the part of your body that you want the application to be. You can put it on your face, your back, anywhere you want, but for this, we're just going to use the arm so you guys can see it better. Usually when you're using latex for some sort of application for Halloween, you're going to want to use a clear latex. But so you guys can see it better, I've used a flesh-colored latex, which is really brown, but they call it flesh-colored. So, and then after you paint on a layer, then you take a tissue, and tissues have multiple layers, so you want to really separate the layers and just get one really thin layer. And then you're just going to strip it and tear it, and then you're going to place it all over the wound. This will end up giving your application a flesh-like texture and a look to it, as you can see. So then you put another layer on top of that. You want your tissue paper to be completely saturated. You don't want any of the white poking up or showing because it'll make your application look awkward and bad, and then you have to tear it up, and it messes up the whole thing. So you put on another layer, completely saturate it, and then you let it dry for about 15 minutes. After it's dried, you're going to start painting it, and for this, my monk apparently was burned. I guess he was in his study and with a candle, and a crow came in and knocked it over, and everything went on fire, and he burned his arm. So what you're going to do is take another foam brush, probably a tinier one, just because the paint that I have is kind of thin, and it's like really tiny, so a big brush like that will mess it up. You use foam because it gives it more texture again and likeness. Anyway, so what you do is to get the good look around here, you're going to really dip it into the pink paint, but then, so you're going to like dip it in there, but then you want to get a little bit of your red because this is a burn, and so you're going to want the inflamed look, the red look, the raw look. So you just do it all over your application, and when you have the color that you're satisfied with, kind of blend it out into the skin because it's not just going to be red where the wounds are, it's going to be inflamed, it's going to be swollen, and it's going to like go out into the skin. So you're going to do this, and then once you're done, and you're going to take a pair of tweezers, and you're going to pull at the latex, and the latex is acting as another skin. So basically, you're going to pull up. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you're pulling up, and you're literally just ripping it off the skin. And so you get like little bits and stuff. It's okay if that stays on because when you push it back, it looks like, you know, skin and flesh and all that gory, good mess. So you just do this until you have the number that you're satisfied with. Be careful not to poke your assistant or yourself. I've done that too, and they were not happy with me. So once you've done that, you have your wounds, and that's where the fire has burned through the skin. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your paintbrush, and this is where you need an actual paintbrush. If you use a foam brush, it's not going to give you that smooth look, and it won't look as good. You're you're going to dip it right into your red paint, and you're going to get a pretty good amount of red paint, and you're just going to go right into the wounds. So when you do this, you're creating, kind of like the bloody flesh underneath the burn, and you're just going to do this until you've finished filling all of them. I would even go over with a little bit of black, just to give it a little bit of depth to it, but also his skin was charred by fire, so that also gives the nice little charred effect. But the black really does add more depth to it. A lot of you may be asking how I got interested in theatrical makeup. Well, this show came on Sci-Fi called Face Off. I don't know if you guys know it, but I started watching it and I got really addicted to how these artists were creating these like great monsters. And well, the common factor in all of their makeups was liquid latex. So I was like, Dad, I have to get this. And he got it for me. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. So he got it for me, and I failed multiple times. But I finally did it. I used YouTube a lot to learn how to do these kind of applications. And so that's how I really got interested, and it's all been history since then. I really like to do this. I think it's fun. And yeah, it's gory, and my mom doesn't like it because it's really gory, but it's okay. She loves me anyway. Okay, so now you have a pretty good color. It depends. If you want it to make a little more red, then just go ahead and add it on there. It's fine. You really can't mess this up because it's supposed to be gory and bloody and inflamed. But I'm happy with my paint job. So what you're going to do now is you're going to take blood gel. Blood gel is made from baby powder or flour. It's also made from corn syrup and red food coloring. And you mix them all together, and it creates this like really cool kind of red goop thing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it does look like blood. And so you're going to take like a big glob of that and just like put it over everything. You're going to let it run down the application to give it more of a bloody look. And basically what separates this from regular fake blood is the fact that when this dries, it'll keep that glossy look. And that's because you added the baby powder. I don't know why, but the way chemicals mix and stuff, like it's magical. So this is used, and everything that I'm showing you guys is used on every kind of special effects set ever. Like they all use these tips, and they all use blood gel and liquid latex and tissue to give it that fleshy look. So now, as you can see, your monk costume is no longer just a monk costume. It is not an underdog competitor. Now, it is a prize-winning, contest-winning character that you've made simply by adding latex, tissue, body paint, and of course,